All right, today we're gonna um, do a quick video on setting the pressure bar height correctly on our machine here. This is a very dirty and rusty 201 that we have here. We keep it so that we can use it for demos and just try to ignore all the dirt and the grime and the rust. What we're concerned with here is the pressure bar and the pressure foot. Okay, so this is where we're concerning ourselves today, not with all the dirt and the grime. All right, so the key thing to remember about setting pressure bar height is 7 millimeters. Okay, and that distance is when you raise your pressure foot, there should be 7 millimeters between the, let me get this down here a little better, between the needle plate, right, and the bottom of your pressure foot. Okay, so the big question is, how do you make sure that you have 7 millimeters distance between here and here? Well, if you are a technician, then you have one of these. This is a block that is made for this. You can see here it says 7 millimeters. This is just a little piece of aluminum. Okay, and all you do with this is you set it underneath here, you lower your pressure foot, and then that gives you 7 millimeters. But let's say you don't have this, right? What can you do? You can use Post-it notes to build up a stack that is 7 millimeters. In this instance, we're going to use a deck of cards, and this is actually a brand new deck. They've never been opened. So let's get these open, and we'll figure out how many cards does it take to stack up to 7 millimeters. Okay, now let's just grab some out of here. Okay, and it doesn't matter what cards they are, but we want to try and get something close to 7 millimeters, right? The question is if you don't have one of these, okay, what can you use, right, to measure 7 millimeters? Obviously, you can use a ruler that has metric measurements on it. Okay, so here we have our metric measurements, and 7 millimeters is going to be right about there. Let me look at that again. Yeah, 6, 7. So right about there, which is going to be hard for you to see there on camera. Okay, so you could theoretically hold your ruler up, get your pressure foot in place, and then tighten down your screw. But that's going to be difficult, right? That's going to be hard to hold. It's going to be hard to hold this in place, hold the ruler in place, and tighten your set screw all at the same time. We've only got 2 hands here. So what else can we do? We can use our ruler and make a stack of cards that is 7 millimeters. Okay. And if I'm looking at this, I am really close to 7. Wow. Okay. Now, another way to measure 7 millimeters. I don't know if any of you have ever seen one of these, but this is a small brass caliper. Okay, and it's got metric on this side and inches on this, and standard inches on this side. Okay, I got this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. It's back in the jewelry department, and where they have the beads and things like that. This is one of the tools that's in there, and it's made for measuring beads. It's made for measuring the diameter of beads, right? But what we can do is we can get this out to Let's see, there's 5, 6, 7. Okay. We can get this thing out to 7 millimeters. And we can stick our cards in. And it looks like I was one card, well, give or take. Let's see if I put that in there. Wow. I have 7 millimeters in cards exactly. Now that was pure luck. Okay. But let's see how many playing cards that actually is. This feels like I'm doing some kind of magic trick here, but I'm not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 24 playing cards. Now this was a brand new deck, okay, and these are just your standard bicycle brand playing cards. All right, 24 of these cards equals 7 millimeters, give or take, you know, a fraction of a millimeter, I guess. Let me measure this one more time. Yeah, that is pretty darn close. I also have these other calipers here, and I had measured this out earlier just to see and verify everything was right. Yeah, and if I measure that with these, I get, what is that, 1/4 plus 2 64ths of an inch, right? So these calipers are a little different. They don't do metric, but they do standard in 64ths of an inch. So with this, I'm at 1/4 inch and like a hair over 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so we've got a couple of different ways here. I'm going to use the playing cards today. So that's what we're going to use. Okay, now, right now our presser foot is still good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my presser foot and I'm going to loosen this screw so we can get it loose. Okay, so my presser foot is moving freely now, right? So I know my height is messed up. And also my alignment is going to be off now, right? So see, when I raise and lower my presser foot now, my presser foot is not moving. What I want is when I raise the presser foot, I want the distance between here and the bottom of the foot to be 7 millimeters, okay? So the best, easiest way to do that, I'm going to raise that, okay? So this means my presser foot should be in the raised position, all right? Now I'm going to raise it up out of the way. I'm going to set my cards underneath here, and I'm going to push this back down, okay? So now I have my presser foot in the raised position, and I have 7 millimeters worth of playing cards sitting underneath it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten this screw down. And then I can move my cards out of the way. And that should get us back to where we need to be. Now, I can use this nice gauge here to make sure. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can feel it. There's a little bit of resistance, but that is right at 7 millimeters. And then when I lower my presser foot, see, that's going to give me the right amount of, now when I make adjustments up here on top of the machine to adjust pressure on the presser foot, I have this positioned correctly so that my adjustments up here should be accurate as well. All right, now, so we had our presser foot loose and we got it set back to the correct height, but we need to make sure that we're aligned as well. And to do that, I'm going to turn the machine. I'm going to get down here where you guys can hopefully see this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my presser foot. And then I'm going to loosen that screw just a little bit. And all I'm doing is making sure that on this one, it's a single straight stitch. So I have just a single hole there. I'm going to make sure that that's lined up. I'm going to make sure that I'm lined up with my feed dogs underneath here. Okay. All of that looks good. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cards again and make sure that nothing moved. All right. Looks like I'm a little up now. See, I've got a little bit of playroom there. So, and I'm going to double check that again with this gauge. All right. Yeah, I've got some play. So when I loosen this screw, some things moved. Okay, so I'm going to leave that sitting there. I don't want to turn my presser foot when I do this. I just want to lower it back down to 7 millimeters. Okay. Let me get my playing cards and let's see if that worked with those as well. That looks pretty good. Oh. Yeah, we look good. So that's all you need to do. So 24 playing cards will give you a stack of right around 7 millimeters. You can use those, lay them down, and use that as your guide for setting your presser foot height. I hope this video was good enough to get you going. If not, please post any questions you have, and we will definitely try and answer them as quickly as we can. Thank you very much.